YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the 1,000-Pound Cider Review. It really hurts that I gave the cider review that name when Paul's not around anymore with me, so it doesn't actually look like we're at least close to 1,000 pounds. Because it makes me feel fatter than I really am. It really does. Today we're looking at this cider from 401 Brewery is what it calls itself. But the only things I've seen on their website so far is ciders. But 401 Brewery is at the Big Apple, I do believe, in Coburg. Coburg, is it that the Big Apple's at? I stop at the Big Apple all the time on the way up to Ottawa, and I don't even remember. Okay, I gotta get the stupid glasses on. I'm using these things so much. I should really change the resolution. I should change the 6.5% alcohol, 100% Ontario orchard apples, fresh pressed, product of Canada, 401 Orchard Drive, Colburn. Okay, yeah, Colburn. I thought it said Coburg though, but it's Colburn. Close enough. I was one letter off. It's at 262 Orchard Drive at this is the 401 Cider Brewery. 401 Cider Brewery is what they're calling themselves. Okay. I know that when I did pay for this package that it went through the guys at Picton and went through Barley Days, so let's see. Ingredients: fermented apple juice, sugar, okay, maybe back sweetening, sulfites, natural flavor, caramel color, potassium sorbate. Now, I know sulfites are used in a lot of wine, and a lot of wineries have also gone into cider making, and a lot of wineries, because they use it in wine, will then use it in their cider, because it does make this stuff much more stable. It makes it much more longer shelf stable and everything else, and makes it so that it's preserving it. I find, for the most part, and now see, this has sugar added to it, so it might not be as bad, but I find for the most part that cider doesn't hide the sulfites near as well as wine does, because apples just seem to be a much simpler fruit, a fruit that ferments out almost all the flavor. So when you add the sulfites to it, that latex rubber taste is there. And then potassium sorbate, I can't say, I'm sad that it's there, but I can't say that it's like sulfates for me. I'm not at all sensitive to them, so I don't even know what potassium sorbate would taste like, because I've never really figured it out. And the natural flavor, I'm kind of sad that there's natural flavor added to this, since it's just apples, and they already had sugar added to it, so what did you add for natural flavor, and why did you need it? Just add more apples, add more fresh pressed apple juice after you've killed off the yeast. And then caramel color. It's a fairly light color, so the fact that caramel color had to be added to it makes me wonder what it was too. I do know that, home brewing cider isn't the same as commercial brewing cider. You're doing it at a much smaller scale, so it's much easier to work with. But I'm kind of sad reading that ingredient list. It doesn't mean I'm not going to like the cider. I'm going into this with as open a mind as I can, and I'm hoping to like it because I do enjoy nice cider. And it was nice to find a cidery that delivered, because a lot of cideries are nowhere near me. So yeah, that was fun. There we go. Listen to that. Ooh, you guys probably can't hear that, but that's a huge fizz. Alrighty, lots of carbonation moving in there. Again, the caramel colored, slight yellow color. Scent. See that? That smells super, super sweet. Okay. Out of the glass, it kind of has like a Summersby smell. Just really, really sweet orange juice. I can't even remember the name of the orange juice I used to get when we went to that breakfast place in Thorold when me and my ex lived above the Moose and Goose. But yeah, it has that smell. It's actually, it smells like sweet apple juice and Hubba Bubba. I don't mind the smell of that. It just worries me about a hangover in the morning. Now, out of the bottle. See, out of the bottle, I get almost like a Granny Smith apple scent, and a little bit of the latex rubber. So I can smell the sulfites out of the bottle. Can't smell the sulfites out of the glass. Let's hope it tastes like I can't taste the sulfites. Yeah, that's allowed. Cheers! Very crisp carbonation. Light mouthfeel. Goes down the throat very quickly. There is an ever so slight sulfite flavoring right in the back end. Right after it all fades away, there's that little tiny touch of like licking a beach ball. I say a beach ball because I'm looking at the Barley Days beach ball right there. But I drink all of my alcohol room temperature, well, basement temperature. So if this was cold, I probably wouldn't taste it because the rest of it, all the way up until the flavor fades and I'm left with just that little bit of sulfite flavoring, is really, really nice. You'd hope so with natural flavor and sugar added to the fresh pressed apple juice. So a very nice sweet apple flavor. A little tiny touch of tannic flavor, like the skins are still in there. Tastes like a red apples. I'd say like a Red Delicious and a Macintosh mixture. Then you just get the slightly tannic dryness, and then that fade, and that's there with this bubbliness on the back of the tongue, and then that fades to the just very slight sulfite flavoring. This isn't bad. This was 6.5, wasn't it? It's a higher ABV cider. Yeah, 6.5. I wouldn't say. It feels like it's like a 3% alcohol cider. There's not much alcohol feeling or flavor to this at all. So this is a very, very dangerous cider, as Guy would say. All in all, I actually like this. I don't enjoy the smell out of the bottle. I'm let down on some of the ingredients, but in the end, it's a good cider. It's a solid cider. It's a drinkable cider. What would I give it out of 10? I'd give it a 7.5. I would buy it again. Now, if somebody from 401 watches this and watched it all the way through and is like, fuck this guy, well, my rating scale is on whether I would buy it again or not, basically. Anything over 7, I'd buy again. I like this. Again, I'm not keen on everything that's in the ingredients. I understand why a lot of them are there. I want more natural ciders. I wish Brickworks had never been bought by Labatt, because they at least claimed they didn't use anything in it other than apples, and it was such a clean flavor. And now they do use things other than just apples. And I understand how it's hard to do, because like a place like this, if you're shipping it by mail and you're hoping to sell it to a bunch of people, you need something to stabilize it. It's not necessarily going to sit well for 6 months to a year if it's not stabilized. I mean, it's weird because I'll make a homebrew cider and it's good for 2-3 years before it goes bad. But I mean, I don't put anything in it. But I don't know. It's a good cider. Try it. 401 Cider Brewery in Colborne, Ontario. Good cider. I like it. Try it. Bye.